Welcome back to English with Khadija. Today the lesson continues with the future perfect tense, but this time the focus will be on the future perfect continuous, also called progressive. We will study its form and its use. Are you ready? So let's get started. So let's start with the form. As usual, we try to study the three types of a sentence. I mean the affirmative, the negative, and the interrogative. That's what we have on the board. First example, or first sentence, will you have been working on the project for 3 hours by 5 p.m.? So this is a question. No, I won't have been working on the project for 3 hours by 5 p.m. This is a negative sentence. And then the last one, yes, I will have been working on the project for 3 hours by 5 p.m. So this is a positive or affirmative sentence. So as you see, the form of the future perfect continuous is highlighted in black. So we have will, okay. We have, there is also been, and verb. What is the form? It's ing form. So in a question, we start with will plus subject plus have plus been plus verb ing form. Okay, so the base verb plus ing form, question mark. In a negative sentence, you have subject plus want or will not. So want is the short form of will not. So either will not or want. Okay? Plus have plus been plus verb ing form. In a positive sentence, you start with subject plus will plus have plus been plus verb ing form. Is it clear? Good. So let's recap together the form of the future perfect continuous. So the future perfect continuous equals will plus have plus been plus verb ing in a positive sentence. It equals will not or want plus have plus been plus verb ing in a negative sentence. And then in a question, you start with the auxiliary will plus subject plus have plus been plus verb ing, question mark. Dear friends, you have to be careful with verb ing. In general, you take the base verb and you add ing form, no problem. For example, work, working. But for some verbs, there are some rules that you have to apply. For example, verbs ending with a vowel E, like have. You delete the vowel of the root and you add ing form. Have, haven't, take, taken. For verbs ending with Y, there's no problem. You add ing form. You don't delete the Y. You just add ing form. You have verbs with one syllable. For example, swim. When you add, before adding ing, you have to double the last consonant. So verbs with one syllable, and then you have CVC. What we call CVC, consonant, vowel, consonant. So before you add ing, you double the last consonant. Swim, swimming. You have also verbs with 2 syllables, some verbs with 2 syllables and the stress on the second syllable in which you have CVC, consonant, vowel, consonant. So before also you add ing form, you double the last consonant. For example, in travel, it's L, double L, ing. You have also verbs like die. Die with the 2 vowels, the I and the E. You delete the I and the E and you change them with Y. Then you add ing. Is it clear? Good. Also, you have to bear in mind that that non-action verbs are not usually used with continuous tenses. These verbs are generally used to describe, for example, emotions, opinion, such as the verb to know, to love, to think, to like. Examples on board. I will have known you for 2 years by 2021. Okay? Second example, I will have been knowing you for 2 years by 2021. So in the first possibility, we have the use of the future perfect simple. You have will plus have plus past participle of the verb to know, which is known. So this possibility is correct because we cannot use know with the continuous form. So the second possibility, which is future perfect continuous, it's incorrect. Okay, so this is incorrect because we cannot use the verb to know with ing form. Okay, another example, he will have heard the school bell for years before he retires. Okay, so here you have the future perfect simple, will plus have plus past participle of the verb to hear, heard. Okay, so this possibility is correct. Okay, with the verb to hear, which is a verb of sense. Second possibility, he will have been hearing. So this is the future perfect continuous, which is impossible with the verb hear, because as I said before, it's a verb of sense, it's a non-action verb. So this is impossible. So we cannot say he will have been hearing the school bell for years before he retires. Instead, we can say he will have heard the school bell for years before he retires. Is it clear? Good. Let's shift now to the use of the future perfect continuous or progressive. So the future perfect continuous is used to show that an action will continue up until a particular event or time in the future. That is, the action started sometime in the past or in the present or later in the future until another action takes place in the future or until a specific time in the future. Is it clear? So let's study some examples to fully understand the use of the future perfect continuous. Okay, here we have two examples. The first example, we will have been driving for 3 hours by the time we get to Rabat. So as you see, we are using the future perfect continuous, will plus have plus been plus verb drive ing form. Okay, so you have the action of drive that started sometime in the past or in the present or later in the future and continued until another action takes place, which is the action of get. What makes here the action continuous is the duration for 3 hours. So the future perfect continuous emphasizes the duration. This is the difference between the future perfect simple and the future perfect continuous, in that a future perfect continuous or progressive stresses on the duration. You have expressions used like for 3 hours, for a lifetime, for many years, for 20 hours, for 10 minutes. So when you have similar expressions, we use the future perfect continuous. Second example, when I return to Morocco, I will have been studying English for a year. So also here you have duration. That's why we are using the future perfect continuous. Okay, so the action is continuous until another event takes place or another action takes place, which is to return. Clear? Good. Okay, now to test your understanding of the future perfect continuous, let's do this short task. Okay, so to your knowledge, the future perfect simple and the future perfect continuous use the same time adverbs or time expressions like by the time, before, when, plus verb simple present. You have by the end of the month, by the end of this year. So they use the same time adverbs. The difference, as I said, is in the emphasis of duration concerning the future perfect, continuous or progressive, right? Okay, so let's do the task together. First example, Amin, you have the verb teach for 15 years before he becomes a headmaster. So here you have before plus verb simple present. So it's of course the future perfect tense, but which one? Perfect continuous or perfect simple? So of course it's the future perfect continuous because you have duration for 15 years. So let's apply the form rule. Amin will plus have plus been plus the base verb ing form, teaching. Okay, so Amin will have been teaching for 15 years before he becomes, okay, a headmaster, right? Let's shift to the second example. You have not and you have live. It's of course a negative sentence, but what is the tense that we are going to use? Continuous, future perfect continuous or future perfect simple? Of course, it's the progressive or continuous because we have for 4 months when you come. So here you have the time adverb when plus verb simple present. So let's apply the form. I, so the auxiliary, will plus not, or the short form, want plus have plus been plus verb ing form. So here as you see, the verb end with a vowel E, so we delete the E and then add ing form, living. So I will not or I won't have been living for 4 months when you come. Okay? Good. The last example, she worked as a nurse for 20 years. By the end of this year, so here you have the expression by the end of this year, you have the duration, so the form is continuous, future perfect continuous. She will plus what? Plus have plus been plus work, working, okay? She will have been working as a nurse for 20 years by the end of this year. I hope it's clear for you now. Well, the lesson meets its end. I'm waiting for your feedback in the comments. Meet you soon with another useful lesson. Bye-bye.